Hey, welcome back to the Weekly Word, Outdoor Adventures. We've been on the trail of Sam Houston this morning. We've been to the memorial there in Maryville, the statue. We went to the home place, not much left there, but saw the sign where his mom's house was, where he lived with 8 siblings for a while. He did a lot of great things in his life. Man, he was too many to name, too many to remember without writing it down, but War of 1812 hero, lived with the Indians on Hiawassee Island a while, and he became congressman in Tennessee and senator in Tennessee also, and then he was governor of Tennessee. Later on, he was president of the Republic of Texas. When after it became a state, he was governor of Texas, governor in 2 different states. He had a lot of great things in his short 70 years, but we're here now at the place where he said he spent the happiest days of his life. He spent less than a year teaching school here at today it's called the Sam Houston Memorial Schoolhouse. It's been preserved from part of the year of 1812. He was in here teaching school children, and he enjoyed it, but of all the great highs that he had some bad times too, as everybody does in life. There's ups and downs, but I'll tell you about the worst pain that he ever suffered, and it wasn't in the 1812 war when he got 3 arrows from the Creek Indians in him. Yeah, there's a worse pain than physical pain. He had gotten married, and his wife just stayed with him a few days and left, went back home to mama. And that's when he was governor of Tennessee. And back in that day, that was just ruinous to you. That all he could do is he resigned the governorship. After he resigned the governorship, he said, well, I'm just going to go out and live with the Indians again. By then, the ones he knew had moved to the Arkansas Territory. And he went out there and he began to live out there, and there was a law that said you couldn't sell liquor to the Indians. And he had been ordering an awful lot of liquor to be delivered, so they investigated him. But they said the report was he wasn't giving none to the Indians, he was drinking it all himself. He'd hit bottom. In fact, the Indians gave him a new name, a Cherokee name out there. It'd been called the Raven before, but they gave him a new one that translated to English means the big drunk. And that was Sam Houston. He'd sort of hit bottom. But that was before Texas. And that was before he went and led the army against Santa Anna's army. And you know all the stories surrounding the Alamo. He got there a little too late to save the guys in the Alamo, but he basically doubled the size of America. But I guess the lesson that we can learn from Sam Houston is that he was knocked down awful bad, but he got back up again. And that's the difference between being successful and being non-successful. That's the difference in the winners and the losers, that when we go out through life, eventually all of us get knocked down at some point or another one. You can lay down and waller in it if you want to, but if you want to be successful, you just got to get up and dust yourself back off and give it another shot. Paul and Silas, I've thought many times that a lot of people would have just quit to go through what they went through. They beat them with many stripes, and they threw them in the inner prison at Philippi. But instead of having a pity party, it said they sang praises to God, and by midnight they had the prisoners in revival, and the jailer himself got saved, and they went home with him and baptized him and his whole family. The Bible tells us stuff like that. It never tells you that you're going to be healthy, wealthy, and wise when you make a decision for Christ. In fact, Jesus said, don't think that you're better than he was. The servant's not above the master. If they treated him like that, they'll treat you that way too. Or he said, before you make that decision for him, he said, nobody builds a tower that they don't first sit down and count the cost. Are you willing to pay the cost of being a follower of Jesus Christ? That's the difference in a real Christian that's made a real commitment to the Lord and just a casual, maybe kind of Christian. In fact, it uses words like you press on to the high calling, or he that endures to the end. There's all these things to say that you just keep on keeping on because one of these days we'll be glad that we did, and we didn't lay down and waller in it and just become a loser because life knocked us down. Get back up. There's still good things in the future. We'll see you next week. We're going to walk around the schoolhouse here a little bit more and even go inside and see what's going on here at Sam Houston's old schoolhouse from 1812. See you next week on the Weekly Word.